We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Hello and welcome to News Today with me, Emefa Akosiadeti. In our headlines this afternoon, board and key members staff of Minerals Income Investment Fund blow over 11 million cedis on foreign travels last year without the finance minister's approval.
What really went into it were a few things, that is the training, the conferences, because it's a mining fund. So we needed to go out to be able to get that visibility.
For more details, as the fund paid over 2 million cedis as sitting allowance in 2 years. Also in the news, the minority in Parliament rejects Tamale High Court's ruling on Pandai parliamentary seat, insisting the court ignored clear evidence. We'll go live to Parliament to know if Matthew Nyendam is in Parliament after he filed a stay of execution. Also, majority rejects a session. They oppose the Ewoya lithium deal under the previous government, insisting the then 10% royalty proposed under Samuel Jinapor was illegal.
Anybody who says that the minority rejected is misleading the House.
We have these and more. Stay. I appreciate your company this afternoon. And confidential documents intercepted by JoyNews has revealed how the board and key management staff of the Mineral Income Investments Fund spent over 11 million cedis on foreign travels in 2024 without government's approval. In 2020, the Finance Ministry issued a directive that no public service officer shall travel on official business without prior approval. Such travel shall be subject to government approval through the Chief of Staff. However, management of MIF disregarded this administrative guideline. Kwetinote reports.
According to the confidential report by the Ghana Audit Service, the board and key management of the Minerals Income Investment Fund spent more than 11 million cedis on foreign travel in 2024 without the required approvals. The report stated that the trips were undertaken without prior authorization from the Chief of Staff, the Sector Minister, or the Chief Director. The administrative guidelines for the implementation of foreign travel allowances issued by the Ministry of Finance in October 2020 stipulate that public servants of the rank of Director and below must seek approval from the Sector Minister or, where appropriate, the Chief Director. However, this wasn't the case. According to the auditors, MIIF's disregard for this directive led to the infraction. In response to the audit findings, MIIF's head of human resource indicated that all travels requiring approval from the Chief Executive Officer or Chief Director were duly cleared. He further explained that for international travel requests involving public servants above the director grade, the HR and Administrative Department acted on directives from the CEO's Secretariat, adding that all request memos were available for verification. Former MIIF CEO Edward Nana Yao Cranton, however, stated that the Chief of Staff at the time had been informed of all the trips, but the auditors noted that no correspondence between MIIF and the Chief of Staff was provided to confirm this claim. Speaking before the Public Accounts Committee recently on high expenditure costs on conferences and related activities, acting MIIF CEO Justina Nelson explained that the expenditure was necessary to give the fund the visibility and capacity needed to operate its new office.
What really went into it were a few things, that is the training, the conferences, because it's a mining fund. So we needed to go out to be able to get that visibility and also woo people in, and a few things as well.
Another audit of MIIF's financial statements and annual report revealed that the fund also spent over 2 million cedis on sitting allowances within 2 years. In 2024 alone, 1.2 million cedis was paid as sitting allowances, while almost 1 million cedis was paid in 2023. The board members during the last administration was 9. When Joy News contacted those cited in the audit, they declined to comment. This is Kwiti Nate's report.
Now, a company linked to Strategic Mobilization Limited, SML, was awarded a contract by the Ghana Airports Company Limited to technical work it had little to no prior experience executing 3 days before the December 2024 election. The Ghana Airports Company Limited awarded a revenue assurance and auditing contract to Evertex Logistics Limited, a mining and stevedoring company with no prior experience in performing this service. This investigative piece by Ajwa Adobia Owusu, Evans Eziamo Mensah, and Manasseh Yazuri Awunian covers how the deal was structured, the affiliations behind it, and the questions it raises about due diligence and procurement integrity at one of Ghana's most critical state institutions. The story is titled SML Disguised as Kotoka.
In December 2023, our investigation revealed that a company formed a month into the Akufo-Addo administration was handpicked for multiple government contracts under very murky circumstances. The company, Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, was awarded contracts by the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, to perform the following so-called revenue assurance services: transaction audits at the ports, external price verification at the ports, downstream petroleum products measurement audit, upstream petroleum audits, and revenue assurance in the mining sector.
They didn't have any experience before they started doing this work. There were experienced companies around. There was no bid.
The contracts were awarded under the single source procurement method, even after the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, denied approval for the use of the method on the basis that the newly formed SML lacked the capacity to perform these services. After paying hundreds of millions to SML, a KPMG report later revealed that the transaction audit and external price verification services were already being performed by...
But in your monitoring, did you ever report or identify issues of under-declaration?
No, we don't get into that.
A company in a murky transaction has been paid $141 million by the government of Ghana in a questionable contract worth over $100 million a year.
We don't need that kind of waste.
So even in the twilight, when you're about to exit office, you are still coming up with schemes to steal Ghanaians' money.
As the President, Parliament, civil society, and state security agencies weigh in on the SML scandal, the NDC's flag bearer serves a strong warning.
But I say that this won't happen. An NDC government under me will not accept or recognize this SML agreement.
But with 3 days to the crucial 2024 general election, another deal is being cooked at the Ghana Airports Company, with fingers pointing to the board chairman as the mastermind.
Revenue assurance occurs everywhere in the global world.
This is a clear and a blatant violation of success rate.
It was quite brave on the side of the company, bizarre on the part of the contracting party, the Ghana Airport Company. Very shameful for the government itself.
SML disguised at Kotoka.
Now, the full investigative piece airs today at 3:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel. Away from that, a group of Ghanaians led by Apostle Abraham Lincoln Labi and private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu has staged a protest in Accra demanding the removal of Special Prosecutor Kissi Agyebeng, citing what they describe as his failure to deliver on his mandate. The group is calling on President John Dramani Mahama to either terminate the Special Prosecutor's appointment or dissolve the office entirely, arguing that it is not fulfilling its intended purpose. Speaking to the media, Martin Kpebu accused Kissi Agyebeng of being untruthful to Ghanaians.
That he said before Oforiatta travels, he saw the letter Oforiatta wrote to the outgoing chief of staff and the incoming chief of staff. So how do you see such a letter? And then he said, even to further add, he said he went to NIB to seek help and didn't get help. It has turned out that it is false. He didn't go to NIB. He said he went to immigration to seek help. He didn't get help. It has turned out it is false. He said he went to national security to seek help to arrest Oforiatta. He didn't get help. It has turned out it is false. So when your special prosecutor comes to lie to Ghanaians that he was attempting to arrest Oforiatta and yet he has no evidence of it and the state institutions are denying, that alone is sufficient for Kissi Agyebeng to resign. Furthermore, the Constitution says that the sovereignty of the people of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana. Sovereignty is in the people of Ghana. That is the center of our Constitution. The thing that holds our Constitution together is the principle of sovereignty, that the ultimate power belongs to the people of Ghana. So the rule of sovereignty requires, or the theory of sovereignty, and you can ask the political science theory, ask Professor Jampo and the rest. They'll tell you that, so once Ghanaians are the sovereign, if you are running a public institution and anybody is frustrating you, assuming without admitting that anybody is frustrating you, come and report to the people of Ghana so that they, as the owners of the power, will know what to do. So in this case, Kissi Agyebeng should have organized a press conference to inform Ghanaians that NIB, National Security and Immigration, are frustrating him.
Here is Deputy Spokesperson for the President, Shamima Muslim, taking delivery of the petition.
Citizens mobilized to exercise their constitutional right to freedom of expression. His Excellency has assured all citizens, all manner of citizens, all people of various political persuasions, that he is a president that believes in the rights of the citizens of Ghanaians, and he has assured that no citizen must feel fearful in their expression of their rights. And so we see your demonstration here today as a way of activating our Constitution, which is a live document. So you are welcome, and we are happy to receive your petition this afternoon.
The minority caucus in Parliament has rejected the Tamale High Court's decision nullifying the 2024 parliamentary elections in the Kpandai constituency, insisting the ruling is unsupported by the fact and undermines the will of the electorate. According to a statement issued by the caucus and signed by its leader, Alexander Kwame Nafenyomakin, the election was conducted transparently with all polling stations results duly signed by NDC agents, and the declared outcome with Matthew Nyindam winning with a margin of 3,734 votes. Let's get more details from its statement that was issued earlier. And it says that the minority statement, Kpandai parliamentary election, and the minority caucus wishes to clarify the facts surrounding the 2024 parliamentary elections in the Kpandai constituency and recent developments that have followed. The records show a transparent process, a credible declaration, and a result that reflected the will of the people. It is important for the public to have a full understanding of what occurred before, during, and after the collation. Honorable Matthew Nyindam won the parliamentary election with a margin of 3,734 votes. And after the NDC secured the presidential results, the NDC parliamentary candidate, Honorable Daniel Nsala Wakpao, gathered a group of supporters who arrived at the collation center in a Mahindra pickup wearing NDC t-shirts. They damaged some ballot boxes in an attempt to interrupt the coalition, believing that the Electoral Commission will not have the pink sheets required to complete the declaration. The tension that followed created serious security risk. The statement continues to say this led the Electoral Commission to move the final declaration to its regional office in Tamale. All NDC agents had already signed the pink sheets at every polling station across the country, across the constituency, confirming the accuracy of the results. When Honorable Wakpal realized that he had lost the election, he refused to go to Tamale for the coalition. The Electoral Commission continued with its work and declared Honorable Matthew Nyindam the winner with 27,947 votes, while Honorable Nsala secured 24,213 votes. The statements continue to say Honorable Wakpal later challenged the results in court. His case focused on his absence in Tamale and clerical errors in 41 out of 152 polling stations. During the trial, the main witnesses for the NDC stated that the total votes in contention were about 500. Even if the court had awarded all 500 votes to the NDC candidate, he would still have lost by more than 3,000 votes. Despite this clear position, the Tamale High Court has nullified the entire result and ordered a rerun in the constituency. Now, this decision raises concerns because the facts did not support the ruling. A notice of appeal and application for a stay of execution have both been filed. The Kandai parliamentary election was conducted in a transparent and accountable manner. The results reflected the choice of the people. The minority caucus remains committed to the rule of law and believes that the appellate process will restore confidence in the democratic outcome delivered by the voters of Kandai. And that's the statement from the minority caucus in Parliament. Now, let's go live to Parliament and engage our parliamentary correspondent, James Aveji. James, how's the situation in Parliament, and have you cited Matthew Nyindam in the House?
Well, it's just a normal day in Parliament, and as we speak, the House has not begun sitting yet. The early indication we get is that sitting was supposed to start at midday. It's some few minutes past 12 yet. Usually, the bell would have been rung to rally MPs who are around the precincts of Parliament to make their way to the chamber. But as we speak, that bell has not gone yet. I have also made some few checks to know if the Honourable MP is in the precincts of Parliament. I do not get any indication to that. What I understand is that as of last night, he was still in the Tamale area following that court proceedings and the pronouncement of judgment. But we are hoping that he should make his way to Accra and should be attending to Parliament. And so we are all looking forward to seeing him in Parliament. My understanding again is that as it stands, because his side of his lawyers have filed a notice of stay of execution, no, the laws do not bound him from appearing in Parliament yet, unless the court throws that out, and then his application for appeal is also thrown out. And so that's the understanding we've been getting from some lawyers. And so we are looking forward to seeing him on the floor today if he's able to make his way to Accra to attend upon the sitting today, MFA.
Right, James, stay with me and we'll talk about the lithium contract just shortly. But before that, I still stay on the Kandai parliamentary rerun as members of the NDC in Kandai have held a press conference today. Ani Jadong Gregory is the communications officer.
Elections must reflect the genuine will of the people, not the manipulation of processes. The people of Kandai were denied the fairness and transparency they deserve on 7th December 2024, and we are grateful that the judiciary has acted decisively to correct this grave injustice. Fellow citizens, comrades and sympathizers, this ruling presents us with both an opportunity and responsibility. We now have 30 days to demonstrate clearly that the mandate of the people of Kandai was stolen, and that under condition of transparency and legality, the NDC will secure a victory that rightly belongs to the people.
Now, the majority on the Lands Committee of Parliament have called for an amendment of the Minerals and Mining Act, Act 703, to allow the government to increase the proposed government royalty in the Ewoya lithium deal. The current royalty rate in the law allows the government to charge only 5% on the interest of mining companies. Reason the Lands Ministry had to renegotiate the proposed 10% signed in the deal under the current government. Chairman of the Lands and Natural Resources Committee, Collins Dauda, addressed a press conference on the matter a while ago, first explaining why the minority did not support the previous deal in the entire form.
Was presented to Parliament. So anybody who says that the minority rejected is misleading the House. The committee is inaccurate and also misleading, because the report was no report was presented to the House for the House to debate and ratify or not ratify. That is what it is. We enacted a law, and the agreement that was presented to us also derived its authority from Act 703. It was extremely difficult for us to pass an agreement which contained a provision which was at variance with the provision of the law. So we advised the minister then to take steps to amend the law in order that Ghana will benefit more by way of royalties. That didn't happen. A report was not presented to the House, and so that was it in respect of the legal challenge. The second challenge was this: the 10%, because it was not provided for by law, but was provided for in the agreement between Ghana and Berari DV Ghana Limited. What it means is that it was only Berari DV Ghana Limited which was going to pay royalties.
James, I still have you with me, and thank God for that. So why do they want an amendment?
Well, Emma, so the law he talked about, which is the original Act 703, according to him, the proposed rate in that original act talks about minerals royalty ranging from 3 to 6%. Now, when that particular Section 25 was amended in 2010, it actually placed the rate at a fixed rate of 5%. And his indication is that even under this deal that has come to Parliament, there are calls for increments in. Reason he said, if interested in increasing the rate under the Ewoya deal, which they are also interested in to rake in more revenue for the country, then we would have to consider amending the current act before they can also make an input for an deal on the floor of Parliament.
Present administration, Honorable Kpebu, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, has presented an agreement between the Republic of Ghana and Berari TPT Ghana Limited on lithium. In that agreement, government did not specify any percentage, but said that royalty will be paid as prescribed by law. What it means is that what is prescribed by law at the moment is 5%. Revenues generated from a 5% revenue, 5% royalty, and 10% royalty can never be the same. The preference is to have 10%.
James, let's get some education. What does it mean to rectify the current deal?
Well, MFI, it is simple. It means that the rectification process is going to delay a bit further, contrary to the appeal of the people of Ewoya, as they have been indicating in our stories in the past few days. The majority whip, Roxanne Nelson, that indicates that they have now advertised for engagement with CSOs as well as other bodies who are interested in the process, and that because of the current 2026 budget debate, they may not be able to pass this deal before this parliament rise somewhere in the middle of December.
Budget matters takes precedence over any other matter. In any case, this is before the committee, and the committee has scheduled a lot of meetings to look at it. So when the committee is ready with a report, we'll come to plenary. You will be at the press gallery. You will hear the debate, you will hear the issues, so you can convey them. So let the public know that whatever we are doing is in the utmost interest of everyone, especially the people from within the enclave where the concession is situated. We are doing everything possible to protect their interests. And so they might trust the government on that. Chairman, if we can take the rest of the issues.
Away from Parliament, let's take a trip around the country where the nationwide CTAC strike is intensifying as JoyNews checks show tutors have deserted classrooms over what they call the government's failure to fully implement the 2023 conditions of service. At Commander Training College, students say they have been without tutors since Monday, raising fears their exams and academic calendar could be disrupted. And in the Ashanti region, the story is the same. Students report feeling confused and idle with no clarity on when teaching will resume. Here is the president of the Trainee Teachers Association of Ghana, Naninja Divine, sharing his frustration over the impact of government's inaction on teaching, learning, and the welfare of trainee teachers. He spoke on the Pulse.
To allow students to travel all the way from their homes to the various campuses and only to be informed in the second week that the strike has been declared is so disturbing. And as we speak, nothing like course material is given to any of the students. No course outline whereby somebody can say or could say that maybe they can learn on their own. So it is very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing, and we are worried. Even as we speak we have the level 400s who are also undertaking their mandatory SDS, what we call micro teaching. And all those people, they are not staying or they are not even using the school facilities. They're rented outside the schools and they are doing these micro teachings. And they are doing so many of the things on their own. And today only to be told that they will not be supervised and others. So it's very disturbing.
My colleague Emmanuel Bright-Kuku reports that colleges of education campuses in Kumasi are gradually grinding to a halt as lecture halls at the St. Louis and Wesley colleges of education remain closed. He spoke to some students.
Okay, some lecturers, they come to lectures, but some students also go to the class to do their own private studies. Yeah, some also they inside doing their own all lot of things. As us now, they are one of the lecturers are called us to come for lectures. So it's one that calls us as if you have nothing to do. They are also available, so we should meet them for some discussions. Oh, we are worried. Somehow we are worried because okay, let me say we are worried because we have just opened school and we want the lectures also to go on fluently, and it has come to this. It's a bit warm here.
Since morning we've not been to class. We are worried.
Why?
because we have few weeks to Christmas break and this too has popped up, so it will definitely disturb our studies. We as student trainees, we do our private studies in our various halls, and sometimes too we come to class.
From the Ashanti region, I'll now take you to the Central region, where correspondent Abigail ACL joins me on phone. Abigail, so you've been speaking to some students. What have they been saying?
Hello. Yeah. So at the Commander Training College campus, the situation is not different from the other campuses. I've been speaking to some of the staff actually, and they've been telling me that until government intervenes and grants them the allowances owed them, they won't be stepping back into the classrooms. They say that some of these allowances have not been paid since the 2021-2022 academic year, and among other allowances which are also not been paid for the 2023-2024 academic year. They also complain about some of their colleagues being sidelined, and because of that, they've lost allowances due them. And they are saying that they are calling on government to intervene and pay these allowances, or they won't be coming back to the classroom, although they are very worried about the welfare of the students they are leaving behind.
Right, Abigail, did you say that you spoke to some teachers, but not students, but did you see students on campus at all?
Well, the students were on campus, but there were no teachers to teach them. And some of them, they refused to speak, actually. But the teachers that I spoke to said that although they are worried about the students, they won't be coming until the allowances are paid.
Thank you so much, Abigail, for that update from the Central region. Now, let's bring you some updates in the agricultural sector, where the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, is set to meet officials of ECOWAS today as part of additional measures to reduce the glut of grains on the Ghanaian markets. Speaking at the government's accountability series, he said the ministry is also in talks with the World Food Programme and West African governments facing shortage to explore the possibility of purchasing Ghana's surplus. There are growing concerns from farmers nationwide over excess maize, rice and eggs, which have led to significant post-harvest losses. The government has already released 100 million Ghana cedis for the mop-up exercise, with an additional 200 million expected to follow.
Surprisingly, even onion, we are told that over 3 million cedis worth of onion got destroyed on the market because people were not buying. In fact, women in Volta region have given us their word that we should stop the importation of onion because they can produce enough to feed our country. During the beginning of the season, we anticipated that there will be glut on the market, but we were unable to anticipate the quantum of glut. So buffer stock is now going through the procurement processes. It's government money. You can't just step into the market, put the money in your pocket, and then start buying. So they are going through the processes. When they are done, they will get the licensed buyers to be on the field to buy the excess for them. We have also spoken to WFP. They are talking to their counterparts in other areas to see what they can do to mop up the excesses. We have also invited ECOWAS because they also have a responsibility to maintain strategic reserves against emergencies. So ECOWAS will be meeting me tomorrow to see what plans they have to also be part of the process. We are also speaking to our colleague ministers in West Africa and then Africa. Some of them have shortages and they want to see what they can do to buy to support their storage of cereals in those areas. But this is the first time we have experienced such situations, glut in over 2 or 3 decades.
Well, the minister says there are challenges this year, but also spoke about what the government is doing to overcome the challenges and avoid a repeat of this glut.
But this is the first time we have experienced such situations, glut in over 2 or 3 decades. And so we have some challenges this year, but next year we'll be able to overcome the situation because right after the approval of the budget, we are going to work on our silos, put in place permanent structures to ensure that we are able to contain such situations.
You're watching News Today. Winston Taki is up next with business updates. Please stay.
JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. The European Union is reaffirming its support for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, as it believes trade and investment are amongst the surest ways of realizing shared prosperity for both the African continent and its partners. President of the European Union Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who was addressing the AU-EU summit in Luanda, Angola, indicated that a successful implementation of the trade framework could unlock over $400 billion.
The European Union is reaffirming its commitment for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area as a main strategy towards poverty reduction across the continent. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Union Commission, who was here to herald the AU-EU Summit for 2025 with a business forum on the sidelines of the leaders' meeting, has been urging the need for Africa to draw closer towards the continent through its strategy of the Global Gateway Project. She believes that entrepreneurship and more private investment will be the way of championing development and moving the continent out of poverty.
So that's why our union has supported the African Continental Free Trade Area since the beginning. And at this summit, we're boosting our support. The African Development Bank says that a true single market here could increase continental income by $450 billion in total. That means massive opportunities for Africa and for the world.
AU Chairperson Mohamed Ali Yusuf, who's also addressing the gathering, pointed out the need for the continent to partner in the areas of AI and more private sector investment.
The Global Gateway is really the future for that partnership between Africa and the European Union. We believe in that, but we also need more deliverables. We need more European companies, investors to come to the continent, because it will be first and foremost in the best interest of those companies to invest in Africa. With 2.5 billion inhabitants by 2050, most of them are young. The manpower is on the continent. The resources are on the continent. The future of the world is in this continent.
Going forward, actors are hopeful that they'll scale up more partnerships and investments across the African continent in a bid to boost trade and global investment. There's the guy reporting for JoyNews, Luanda, Angola.
Now, away from that, Ghana's leading payment service provider, Haptel, has announced the appointment of Patience Nyako Achiako as its new board chair. She succeeds Hans Nielsen, who steps down after a decade of guiding the company through major governance reforms and growth milestones. Patience Achianu brings extensive leadership experience from the banking and insurance sectors. She's been speaking about her vision for the next 3 to 5 years.
So the vision is very clear for all of us, and I'm totally on board with it, being Africa's, most useful company here. There's a lot. When I think about Haptel, I see Haptel in every home. Yeah, right now, commercially, we are doing well with our merchants, etc. Significantly in Ghana, I see Haptel across Africa, really. Full of years, we should be in a few countries. Yeah. And that I see being my legacy. Besides, I want Ghanaians to see Haptel as a Ghana company, a Ghanaian company, have a piece of Haptel. How can we achieve that? By listing publicly. I'm seeing Haptel on the Ghana Stock Exchange, with Ghanaians being offered the opportunity to buy a stake in Haptel and feeling part of such a great company.
That's all for business. My name is Winston Taki. Up next is sports.
Welcome to the Midday Sports with me, Benaya Elom Dapamakwa. The Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Kissi Agyebeng, and the DBJ Sports Agency organized the two-day regional scouting event at the Kpebu Sports Stadium over the weekend. We have more in this report. Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Kissi Agyebeng, and the DBJ Empire Sports Agency organized the two-day regional scouting event at the Kpebu Sports Stadium over the weekend. The program, now in its 6th edition since its inception by CEO Daniel Boifio Jr., brought together 10 teams and 120 aspiring footballers, all hoping to impress the scouts and sports agents in attendance. A number of standout players were selected and will be given the opportunity to pursue their ambitions of playing in Europe. Eastern Regional Minister Rita Kissi Agyebeng, who together with the Empire Sports Agency organized this year's edition, expressed satisfaction with the talent on display and said she's already looking forward to an even larger tournament to help uncover more stars in the region.
So far it has been wonderful. Yesterday we started and it was so good. I learned few teams were raised out of yesterday's match and we'll finalize it today. I think it's a thing I want to do more of it in the coming years and more well organized than this. It is the passion of the young ones I see around, and as somebody who has been in school, there were young men who were just like them playing very well in our school teams, and today they are just walking on the streets. I believe if they had such opportunities, they would have done better. And I believe there's a lot in the Eastern region. When I look at the football teams around and even our national team, there are people, though there are some Eastern region people, but there's not a lot. So I believe if we can be having such things in the region, it will increase the motivation.
CEO of Empire Sports Agency, Daniel Boifio Jr., said he was encouraged by the quality of the players, while football scout Jacob Fiete also praised the talent showcased at the event.
I'm surprised by the level of talent here in the Eastern region. It's been so amazing. You know, we had a lot of players trooping in the first day. That was yesterday on the first day, and we've seen future superstars. We've seen generational talent, and this should tell you that Ghana really has talent, and this is why this kind of events should happen often. You know, because there are so many hidden talents. I've seen about 2 super talents, and trust me, like these guys in a few years will be playing for the national team.
There's a lot of talent here, especially yesterday we had 2 young boys. Believe they were between 10 and 13 years old, and they did phenomenal. Actually, for me, they were the best players among them, and you know, it's not really easy to play as a U13 player against U17 players, so that really impressed me.
The next edition of the Regional Scouts and Justifier is scheduled to take place next year. The Champions League returns as Chelsea welcomes Spanish giants FC Barcelona to Stamford Bridge tonight for a blockbuster clash. Now, both Enzo Maresca and Hansi Flick has expressed confidence that their sides will deliver a top-quality encounter.
For sure, he's a fantastic player. He showed all his life that he does the most important thing in football, that is score goals. We're gonna try to defend like always, like a team, aggressive in the way we try always to defend. But it's Lewandowski, it's Lamine Yamal, it's Fermin, it's Ferran, Frankie de Jong. They have so many players, but at the same time we also have players that we can try to win the game. For sure, but as you said, I think we need to pay attention also off the ball, because they are a team that they create always chances, they score goals always, so we need the right balance between attacking and defending.
You never can choose when is the right time. I think it's every game is different. But at the end, I'm really happy to play against Chelsea, because we can show we can show how good we are, and we'll see. It's a good test about all the training we have. We see the team is improving a lot the last weeks, and we are happy with this. And also some players are coming back. This is the good news. Frankie is coming back. Marcus is back from his cold. Rafa maybe can play more minutes, and next week or this week at the end, I hope hopefully also Petri will come back, and of course Chongazia. Chongazia is back, and these are the good things. So now we are starting, I think, the next step, but it's the same. We train always very focused, very with a high quality, and very hard. And at the end, we have to show in the match, like against Chelsea, how good we are.
And that's our wrap up the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom Dapamakwa. Up next is Showbiz with Shola Adeyemi.
And I'm Shola Adeyemi, bringing you all the news happening in and around the world of entertainment. Let's get into our stories now. Now let's head to Atlanta, where it came alive with a dazzling display of African rhythm and color on the evening of November 20th, as thousands of music lovers poured into the State Farm Arena for what could become one of the city's most unforgettable nights. Now, they had gathered for Davido's spectacular birthday celebration, a night that promised not just music, but emotion, culture, and a powerful sense of community. And from the very moment of the first cheer erupted, the crowd knew they were about to witness something truly extraordinary. Now, my colleague Becky has more from Atlanta.
The city of Atlanta was painted with the vibrant colors of Africa on the evening of November 20th as thousands of music lovers converged at the State Farm Arena for a night to remember. The occasion? Davido's spectacular birthday bash, a celebration of life, music, and giving back to the city that helped shape him. As the gates opened, the anticipation was palpable. And the wait was worth it. Multiple award-winning musician Kirk Franklin took to the stage to set the tone with a heartfelt prayer. The atmosphere was electric and the party was just getting started. The man of the moment, Davido, took the stage and the energy was infectious. He gave the fans exactly what they wanted. A medley of old classics, new records, and everything in between. And who could forget the show-stopping performance of Bad Habit, featuring Ghana's very own Kim Promise.
Yeah, nah, it's always good to come back to Atlanta. You know, I'm rarely here. I probably have been to the city like 3 times. But it's always love, you know. Like you said, second time at David's concert, and it's just amazing. The crowd, you know, the African energy is different.
The crowd went wild as Davido shared an emotional tribute to his late son and mother. It was a moment of raw emotions, and the audience was completely swept up in the moment.
I love you, son. I hope you're there. And you tell my mom, Daddy's a superstar down here, mama.
The experience was nothing short of ecstatic, and fans are already counting down to the next edition.
It was lit, like no dull moment. I was up dancing, it was fun.
Oh, I had a great time. It's very, very fun. I love all the songs. Davido is one of my favorite artists, and for some reason I've been missing his concert in Atlanta, so I'm really glad I'm here today.
As the nights drew to a close, Davido wrapped up the show with his Grammy-nominated song, With You. La 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 la. And the crowd went home happy. It was undoubtedly one of the most exciting shows of the year, and we're still reeling from the energy. From Atlanta, my name is Becky.
Well, that was evidently a really good show. Well, moving away from that, the airways have been buzzing once again on South Africa. Map and rap sensation Nasty C opened up about his long-discussed feud with Ghana's own Sarkodie, a rift that has kept fans debating since 2022. Now, sitting down with Joy Prime's Rosalind Fairley on Changes, the rapper peeled back the layers of what he says was a simple misunderstanding that spiraled into a social media storm, revealing he's open to making peace if the two finally get the chance to meet face to face.
Sarkodie.
He's not in my top 3 at the moment, no.
Where is he? Top what?
He's definitely in the top 5.
Okay, but not top 3.
Not in my top 3 right now.
Will you do a collaboration with him after what has happened in the past?
I don't know. We'd have to have a conversation. And
you guys have still not had the conversation?
We haven't, no.
Why? What's keeping you?
I think a lot of things got lost in translation, and you know, I don't know. It's no one's organized that sit down just yet, you know, and we're both just busy with our lives.
Will you go for the sit down if it's organized?
If it's organized, yeah, you know.
So you're willing to smoke the peace pipe for him?
Yeah, man. I mean, I said that in the song that I put out, you know, but I guess I don't know if he misunderstood it or if someone was in his ear and told him the wrong message, but his response to the song that I put out was a little spicy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't know where his head is at the moment. I'm not really worried about it. But if he were to ask us to sit down and have a chat, yeah, for sure, why not?
Well, that's how we wrap up Showbiz. I am Lois Lademi. For more Showbiz stories, please do well to head straight to myjoyonline.com. MFA, I like that you look ready for my question today. I was going to ask you what your favorite Davido song was. I heard Becky singing, da 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 da. Which one is yours?
It's getting cold.
Oh, cold inside. Hey, double see weather. That's all you know. I know. That's what the lyrics end.
Tomato. Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, thank you so much for watching the news. For more news, you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MFA Akosi Adeti. Let's go continue the news.
Da 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 da.